Wow. 15 videos in a row. And finally I get one, a guy my age, that started the video out at A. Everyone else started out at Z. Fuck. This is how you transfer data over there. Okay, so you have to be connected wirelessly to the same network. No, you don't have to be connected wirelessly. You can use a LAN cable. My PlayStation is plugged in and already connected to my router, which is what my PS5 will be connected to. And I'll do a simple data transfer using a USB drive. The first, I can't tell you. First off, they were all, just like the rest of YouTube that I did a video on, every damn one of them was out of date. They were all, 12 to 14 months old, all of them. Not only one of them started out correctly, which was plug in your PS5 and update it. Sign into your account and update it. Not a single, the first 9, just assume that. They were more interested in telling me how to format my damn hard drive, my USB drive, so that I could put game saves on my USB drive. Wait a minute. So you're going to leave out the sign in to PlayStation, but you're going to include how to format the drive before you use it as an external drive? Wait, so you're telling me that I can't do a backup on a hard drive? It has to be formatted as a USB external use drive? It was just so bad. This is why I don't fucking do content. Teaching is something that needs to be, it's a skill. Some people are good teachers, some people are bad teachers. Most of them are not psychologically profiled. I was physically abused to the point of hospitalization by the principal of my school, Mr. Lasnabat, from Hillcrest High School. Second grade, they wanted me to say I lied because I was writing poetry that was too advanced for a second grader. And so he beat me to a point of where I needed to go to a hospital. My mom took one look at me when I walked in the door and asked what happened. When I told her, she left and she went up. And from my understanding is she took the wasp, his paddle, and destroyed his entire office. Literally destroyed everything on the wall. There wasn't a single piece of drywall or his chair, his desk. Nothing was left in one piece when she was done. And so she gets back to the house and the cops show up. They took one look at me and they both got back in their cars and they headed out at fucking warp speed for the school. Because the story they got up there was completely different than what they saw when they took one look at me and they understood, oh my God, he needs to go to the doctor now, right now. That's what they told her. He needs to go to the hospital now. I had blood blisters that were that tall on my buttocks. He literally beat me until my buttocks muscles were bleeding, hematomas. That was Mr. Lasnabat, Hillcrest High School, Rodale, California. Him and Mrs. Duncan. Then the school sent someone to test me because they needed to cover their ass for what they'd done. And they said, oh, well, he's a genius. That's why he was writing the advanced poetry. And there were never any charges filed against my mom, but from that day forth, I understood about teachers. They're like cops or like military guys. I know military guys that signed up for the military because they wanted to go kill an enemy. They wanted to go shoot another human being. It had nothing to do with defending America or the Constitution or freedom or helping the civilians of another country. It was about killing. I know police officers, personally knew police officers, that became police officers so they could fucking be bullies and carry a gun and have power over people. I knew them personally. And teachers are exactly the same way. Nowadays, he would have been arrested and he would have spent prison time for what he did to me. That's when corporal punishment was allowed, and that's why it was stopped. Because of psycho motherfuckers like Mr. Lasnabat from Hillcrest Grade School, in Rodale, California. Teaching is a skill, but they need to be psychologically profiled, I believe. When I watch 15 YouTube videos on how to transfer data from my PS4 to my PS5, and I get 15 different explanations, every single one of them leaving out important steps along the way, I'm like, oh, fuck. This is why I'm not a content creator. I simply share my life experience. That's what I do. And I do it for my mental fucking stability. I don't do it for attention. I tell everyone, don't sub to my page. You don't want to sub to my page. 99% of what I'm going to tell you is not going to be good news. You want to know about climate change? No, you don't want to know about fucking climate change, because what I'm going to tell you about climate change is going to scare the fuck out of you. And it should. Because I'm not going to sugarcoat or hide anything from you. And everything I tell you is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Because I want to teach you what climate change is doing to the planet. So, if you can't teach, don't do it. And I believe we need to psychologically profile teachers. When a teacher agrees to burn books because she thinks it says something she doesn't agree with, she's not a teacher. Anyone who wants to burn a book or deny knowledge from previous human beings throughout history, they're not a teacher. They're a propagandist. They want you to learn a certain thing. This is why the middle part of the United States is so damn ignorant. That all of them voted for Donald Trump because they believed everything he said, just like in church when they said, oh yeah, Jesus walked on water and turned water into wine. They believe that shit 100%. They stand there with their hands in the air. Oh, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. They never studied religion or where it came from. Or I know Christians who are hardcore Christians that don't know where the Bible came from. Oh, it was inspired by God. Okay, yeah, but where did it come from? Well, it was inspired by God. Men wrote it inspired by God. Okay, but where did it come from? It just popped into some guy's head? You're reading something called the Good News. It's not even called the Bible. You got the Old Testament, the New Testament, and Good News, and each religion has its own little volume, okay? The Torah, and there were many books that were thrown away by the white rich people who printed your Bible that they wanted you to know so they could control you. I had the fortunate experience of dying and being dead for over 6 minutes. We know it was well over 6 minutes. That was a miracle. That's for another story. Part of my near-death series. Don't sub to my page. I'm asking you not to sub to my page. You can comment all you want, okay, but don't sub to my page. That's not what this is about. I'm not creating content. I'm sharing my life with you and my life experience with you. The things that are important to me that I've been studying basically my whole life, and I feel like I can talk to you in a way that you can relate. That the truth is more important than anybody's agenda. As soon as you have skin in the game, the truth normally gets a little thin. Again, same thing with the Gamers Getting Played page. I ask people, don't sub to my page. Just don't sub to my page. I still ended up with like 3,500 over 15 years. I had over 1.5 million on the Laren von Baron page until Microsoft sent literally hundreds of people to attack Laren von Baron because I was talking about getting gamers together for a gamers union, so they would have to produce and none of this 24-hour online can't lend your game to your friend fucking bullshit. And so they literally hundreds of pages. They're still up. You can still do a Laren von Baron search and find these hit pieces that they did on me. Yeah, teaching is a skill. I want to teach you in a way that makes you understand the value of what I'm saying. Not just what I'm saying, but the value it has to you and your life and your future and your children's future and your grandchildren's future. I'm going to tell you what I think is the truth from my studies. And what you do is, if people who've been watching my page for 15 years understand I've never lied to them, almost everything that I've said has come true. I don't need to exaggerate because the real truth is scary enough. I have no skin in the game. I don't monetize my pages. I don't want subscriptions. I just want you to learn from my life, so you don't make the same mistakes I did, etc., etc., etc. Okay? My job here is to be an orator for this life. The good shit that I did, the bad shit that I did, you know what I mean? The wrongs that I did other people, the rights that I did other people. Basically my life. That's what I want to do. I want to share my life with you. That being a teacher this way, for me, it takes many, many years for you to start to understand that, hey, the shit Laren said has come true. Everything he said came true about gaming. Maybe I should listen to him about climate change. See? So my job here is to establish a reputation that you know I don't have any skin in the game. I have no reason to lie to you. And all I want to do is teach you what's really going on in the world from my 70 years of living experience. When your kid comes home and says that your teacher is being mean to them or saying things that hurt their feelings or physically touching them, that's this kind of shit, you want them to know it's okay to tell you. Teachers should be psychologically profiled. They are constantly being arrested for fucking their students, committing fraudulent acts, murders, you name it. Same thing with police officers. There are police officers that become police officers I knew personally that did it so they could have control over other people, and flat told me that's why. Yeah, you get to boss people and tell them what to do. I knew guys that went in the military so they could kill someone. My intent here is to educate you on my life experience. That's it. So I have no reason to lie. I would be lying to myself. I tend to always talk to myself here. You notice I don't look at the camera like that because I'm not looking at you. And people that create content, that's what they do. They learn to look right there. Well, I look right here because I'm talking to myself. Almost all of my videos, you won't see me looking like that. Go back and try to find a video of me looking like this, where I'm looking at you. That's a content creator. That's not who I am. But I won't lie to you, and I'll tell you the truth that I figured out over 70 years of living. And 50 years of that has been studying climate change because I watched it happening before my very eyes. I watched beautiful places turn into shitty places. I watched schools of fish so big it would amaze you turn into one or two. I used to go fishing out here at Whiskey Town, and you could sit in the water and you would have hundreds of little bluegills coming up and nibbling on your feet and shit, looking for dead skin and things like that. And then the Vietnamese and the Hmong people started going out there, and now you can go and look and you won't see a baby fish. Nowhere, because they kept fucking bluegill and bass this big. Babies. Fry. They kept every fucking thing they could get their hands on. And they destroyed the entire ecosystem of the lake. You used to be able to go out there and catch 30 or 40 bass, no problem, in the morning with one spinner. Now you're lucky if you get a hit all day long. I've watched the world degrade and fall apart. I have. I've watched the snow levels. You see, I'm afraid that this year's going to be like last year. We had just a hell of a bang start and then nothing. No more rain. It just fucking stopped. I'm hoping that this year it rains every damn day. But I'm looking at the forecasts on my PIREP reports and it doesn't look like it's... We might get some next week sometime, possibly. So, yeah, I'll cover every subject that's in my life, which is many thousands of different things, which is why I will jump around constantly when I'm just talking, because it's psychologically soothing for me to be able to turn my knowledge into an electromagnetic signal and send it out into the universe for posterity. That's what I really do here. I convert my physical body into electromagnetic energy and I radiate out into space. I want anyone who ever picks up what I'm saying to understand what side of the fence I was on. I was definitely not sitting on the middle, and I had no skin in the game. Every time you listen to a climate model now or climate scientists, they're always talking about how things are accelerating. That is what I've been saying for 15 years. And if you've been here for 15 years, you know that's what I've been saying. I've talked about the gas pedal and the accelerating effect and how none of these models are any good and shit is going to hit the fan in 20 and 30 years, not 50 and 100. So I will tell you some pretty terrifying things, but at least you'll know the truth and you'll be prepared.